Hi, Soch friends. I missed you guys yesterday, and I'm being quiet because I'm in the hospital still. I'm gonna show you. You guys want to see? So this is what it looks like when you're having to do work. You're in a hospital. You have to go find a quiet room where there's nothing going on, and this, like they say, the show must go on. So here we are. All right. So this is going to be quick. I hate this unit, you guys. I really do. Um, the rest of the course is so much fun. Our next unit is about culture, and we really dive into our culture. So you're going to go home and you're going to dive into your culture and your experiences, and you get to pick apart who you are as a person. It's going to be so much fun. So let's get this done so that we can move on with our lives. All right. LT3 assessment options. Make sure you go to the slide that you want to do. If you want to do the PT, go to slide 3. If you want to do the AT, go to slide 4 or 5. I want to give you a quick overview of how sociology actually works in a study. So I have an example. Here we go. All right. So here's a real life example so that you can get a full picture of how sociology works and how the research process works. So here we go. A real life example will help illustrate the experimental process. In 1971, Francis, a sociology professor at California State University at Los Angeles, had a theory about police prejudice. Okay? To test her theory, she conducted an experiment. She chose 15 students from 3 different ethnic backgrounds: black students, white students, and Hispanic students. She chose students who routinely drove to and from campus along Los Angeles freeway routes and who had a perfect driving record for longer than a year. Many of the participants had perfect driving records, period. Okay? That means that these kids were not being pulled over. They weren't known for speeding, running red lights, parking violations, none of that. Okay? These were clean students in terms of their backgrounds, their criminal and driving records. Okay. Okay, so let's just jump right here. Next, she placed Black Panther bumper stickers on each of their cars. That sticker is a representation of a social value, right? Our social value of, um, bringing up one's culture, fighting for freedom and equality and things like that, okay? That is the independent variable, the thing that can be changed to put the sticker on, to take the sticker off. And I want to see what happens because I put the sticker on these kids' cars. What happens when it comes to interactions with the police, okay? In the 1970s, the Black Panthers were a revolutionary group actively fighting against racism. They were villainized by the media back then to be portrayed as terrorists. We now know that that is not the case, right? They created breakfast programs, voting initiatives, fundraising initiatives. They did uh, like bike give outs and bike safety programs for children. Anywho, okay. Um, Okay, so the sociologist Frances asked the students to follow their normal driving patterns from school to home and vice versa. She wanted to see whether seeming to support the Black Panther Party would change how these good drivers were treated by the police patrolling the highways. Okay? That's our hypothesis. Driving with a Black Panther bumper sticker is going to increase police interactions with the motorists. Boom. Okay? So here we now we have the results. The first arrest for an incorrect lane change was made 2 hours after the experiment began. Being arrested for lane change. That really changes things when we put this in perspective. These kids were clean drivers. Okay. Anyway, one participant was pulled over 3 times in 3 days. He quit the study. He was like, I'm good, okay? After 17 days, the 15 drivers had collected a total of, and I say that again, 17 days, a total of 33 traffic citations in 17 days. The experiment was halted, and the funding to pay for traffic fines and tickets and all of that ran out. And so did the enthusiasm of the participants. So when we're looking at this as an example, we see the independent and dependent variable, very easy, right? The independent variable is the thing that we can change, the thing that we can manipulate, which is the bumper sticker. The dependent variable is the effect. How did it affect how these drivers were treated by police officers? Okay? And then we have to draw a conclusion. So what method of study did this scientist use? Some may argue that they used naturalistic observations. And some may argue that, what would be another one? You could say case study. Yeah, anyway, you guys get it. So we would draw a conclusion. We would sit and we would discuss this. Why? Why is this a thing? And how can we fix it? And that's the job of a sociologist. And that's what you guys are going to do. Okay? All right. Those of you who want to do the PT, this is a very simple, this is going to take you 15 minutes, and therefore the top score you can get is a PT. You are going to go to home screen on Canvas. You are going to click Learning Target 3, and then once you see this screen, you are going to click the Practice tab. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click this, it says click here for examples. You're going to click that. It's going to take you to a website that has hundreds of different ideas for sociological studies. Anything from how life imitates art to why, why gender roles are still being like exercised today. Can women do a better job than men? Things like that. Does social media create addictions? Does social media and cell phones lead to lack of like intimate communication or something like that, right? Like we're more on our phones than we are talking in person. So maybe you could do something with that. Anyway, pick a topic that is interesting to you. If you have family members in prison, talk about prison conditions. Talk about the process of being institutionalized. Talk about how that process bleeds over into the real world, and then we're like, hey, be a normal human being, be a contributing factor to society. What? How? I was just in a cage being treated like an animal. Anywho, you guys get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here are the prompts. Once you figure out kind of what topic you want to do, then you need to answer the following questions. Number 1, what would you like to test, and what would your hypothesis be? So just create a hypothesis. I'm going to put a hypothesis how-to video in the email. Watch it. It'll be short, and it'll help you write a good hypothesis. Why did you decide to do this study? Like this specific topic. Tell me what that topic means to you. Why does it interest you? What experience do you have with it, etc. That's your opinion. That means it should be fast and easy to do. Just tell me why this interests you, okay? The third thing that you need to do is you need to identify clearly the independent variable and the dependent variable. How I would do this if I were you. I would literally type independent variable, I'd put the equal sign, and then I would write it out, right? Putting Black Panther bumper stickers on driver's car. And dependent variable equals how often they interact with cops moving forward, right? Something like that. All right, and then finally, the last piece is if you were going to do this in an actual study, if you were going to turn this into an actual study, what method would you use to collect your evidence, right? Are you going to do a case study? Are you going to do a survey? Are you going to do naturalistic observations or an experiment? That's the other one. The example I read, excuse me, the example that I read to you earlier, it could totally be an experimental method. Okay, anyhow. So what method would you think would be best and why? And then you're going to give an example. So you're going to say, well, I think that naturalistic observation would be better because then I can actually sit and watch what happens when women try to do like male, like gender role jobs. And then I want to see what the reaction is to it. Easy. All right, you are going to send this to me via personal Teams chat message or an email. If you write the answer in a notebook, take a picture and send it to me, that's fine. If you write it in a Word document and email it to me, that's perfect too. Whatever is easiest. This should take you about 15 to 20 minutes. Don't overthink it. Pick something that's interesting to you. Write a hypothesis. Identify why you chose that topic. Identify the independent and dependent variable, and then identify the method you would use to gather the data if you had to actually do the research study. Then you email it to me, and then you're finished. Go team. All right, those of you who want to do the AT, this is the option. You're going to go to Learning Target 3. Once you see the screen come up, you're going to hit the next button, and it will take you to this, the evidence. Same thing, you are going to find a topic that interests you. You're going to do background research on it, like background research on the topic. If you're going to talk about police profiling, you're going to give me a quick rundown on the history of police profiling or police brutality, whichever, in this country, something like that. Okay. So complete a background. Then you're going to create a survey. All right. It says 10 to 15 questions, but 10 questions tops. 10 questions tops survey. That's going to help you gather information, right? And then you're going to give that survey to your friends or your family or people in your different classes or people that you work with, and then they're going to fill it out, give it back to you, and you're going to collect that data, okay? That's literally what you're going to do, okay? You're going to create a PowerPoint kind of walking us through that study. Same expectations. I need a title page with a clear hypothesis and a clear independent and dependent variable. Easy, okay? Then you're going to kind of walk me through why it's important, why that topic or subject is important to you. This is your personal opinion, your personal experiences. So that part shouldn't take you very long. Then you need to do, kind of break down the survey. What were a few of your example questions? Don't go too much in depth with it. We get it. It's a survey. Here are a few of the questions. Okay. And then number 4, it says you're going to present your data. So once all those people send you their data back, you're going to create a chart, like a pie chart, a line chart. Maybe you have like a graph that has all of the questions and then the different answers. However you want to display that data. But what was the data? What were the answers to the surveys? That type of thing. And then finally, the conclusions. Based off of these results of your survey, can you answer your hypothesis? And that's it. If you go to the last page, this is a very generic like template that you can follow, and literally all you would have to do is answer each of these prompts, and then you're finished. Okay? Again, please pick something that you're interested in. Please have fun with this. The idea is to just get our minds thinking of what are some social issues that we're interested in. If you could do nothing else but that, I would be happy. Okay? All right. Please reach out during Teams. I'm so sorry I'm not there. I am very stressed out. My mom is recovering, but it is a long process. There's no time to sleep. I haven't slept, as you can tell, but we can do this. When we come back together Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have such fun classes. We're going to dive into culture. Actually, maybe Wednesday, those of you doing AT will need some work time. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Thursday, we're definitely going to start culture. We're going to dig into what your culture looks like at home. How do we interact with each other's culture? It's going to be fun, okay? I will see you. Teams, message me if you need me.